Good evening. My name is Ms. Parker and I represent CDC in the Food Safety Division. Today's debate is over irradiation in genetically modified foods and food safety. As we all know, food safety is the utilization of various resources and strategies to ensure that all types of foods are properly stored, prepared, and preserved so they are safe for consumption. Today we have two argumentative companies, Greenpeace International and EarthSafe. Representatives from Greenpeace is Ethel Louise and Connie Jackson, and representing EarthSafe is Cynthia Green. To start today's debate off, question number 1 goes to Greenpeace. Is genetically modified food harmful towards humans?
Yes, it is harmful to humans because many children in the U.S. and Europe have developed allergens to other foods.
Well, scientists have actually discovered that genetically modified food actually help humans with the exception of allergies. Genetically modified food are not only helpful to humans, they're nutritious, and then they also help with pharmaceuticals. Let's take a third world country, for instance, where there are commonly malnutrition foods such as rice. If we were to genetically modify the rice, we would start adding adequate amounts of necessary nutrients that would lessen the nutrient deficiencies. But when it comes to pharmaceuticals, our researchers are looking to see can we make edible vaccines.
Question number 2 is for EarthSafe. Is genetically modified food harmful towards the environment?
Genetically modified food is not harmful to the environment. It actually is helpful with its pest-resistant, disease-resistant, and it has herbicide tolerance, cold tolerance, and also drought tolerance.
Well, last year, our scientists published in Nature showing that pollen from Bacillus thuringiensis, or BT, caused high mortality rates in monarch butterfly caterpillars. Monarch caterpillars consume milkweed plants, not corn, but the fear is that if pollen from BT corn is blown by the wind into milkweed plants in neighboring fields, the caterpillars could eat the pollen and perish.
Well, I figured you would bring up this issue, but I have a solution to your problem. We could create genetically modified plants that are sterile. Therefore, the pollen doesn't contain the introduced gene. Therefore, there is no cross-pollination.
This brings us to another concern. This concern is that the insects may become resistant to BT that has been genetically modified to produce their own pesticides. This is in the case of populations of mosquitoes that have developed resistancy to the now banned pesticide dichlorodiphenyl trichloroethane, also known as DDT.
Well, we have a solution to your problem as well. All we have to do is create buffer zones around a genetically modified food.
Question 3 goes to EarthSafe. Does irradiated food cause more harm than good?
I don't believe irradiated food causes harm. I actually think it's beneficial. But I doubt that it will become large scale because too many people are not open-minded to the idea. Plus, it's a long approval process.
Well, after careful research, we found that there was an E. coli breakout in Europe over 5 months ago. This sickened more than 3,000 people and killed at least 50. It is impossible to think by Greenpeace International that irradiation was not the issue. What if these fenugreek seeds were not irradiated? Were there fewer deaths? Could there have been fewer kidney failures that at least total 900? Or fewer tragic stories?
Well, you bring up an interesting fact, but the point is still that irradiation still eliminates bacteria in areas. You have anything to say against that?
Okay, question number 4. EarthSafe. How can food irradiation prevent foodborne illnesses?
Well, irradiation can prevent against foodborne illnesses by treating raw meat and poultry at the slaughtering plant, therefore eliminating the bacteria commonly found in raw meat and poultry, such as E. coli and salmonella.
Well, irradiation is not a shortcut. That means food hygiene efforts can be relaxed. Many steps need to be taken from farm to table to make sure that our food supply is clean and safe. Irradiation is a major step forward, but it does not replace other important efforts, including efforts to improve sanitation on the farm and in the food processing plant.
You bring up a valid point, but just like you just stated, food irradiation is still a major step forward.
Question 5 is for Greenpeace. Does genetically modified food affect the economy?
Yes, it does affect the economy. Bringing genetically modified food to the public is a costly process, just as all process costs. As we know, patent infringement is a big concern in the agribusiness. Therefore, as more money is spent on patents, the higher the prices will be for the average farmer and third world country farmers as well.
Yes, you make a valid statement again, but as you said recently, all food processing costs. And when it comes to the genetically modified food, the canning, freezing, pasteurizations, refrigeration, fumigations, and irradiation, they all are costly. These treatments will also bring benefits to the consumer in terms of availability and quality, storage life, convenience, and improved hygiene of the food.
You are correct. I did state that any process is costly. However, there are many alternatives that might cost a little bit less.
Well, in fruit and vegetables, only 2 to 3 cents, and when it comes to poultry and meat, it's only about 3 to 5 cents extra.
2 to 3 cents, 3 to 5 cents. Do cents not add up to dollars?
Well, they could, but it's not a big difference considering the benefits that they offer.
No, it's not could. It is the absolute that they do add up to dollars. The American nation would not like to pay more. It already affects the economy. Therefore, I think the process is just unnecessary.
But you didn't add in the factor that the irrigation foods or genetically modified foods more likely are opted to go down if they become more widely available.
Well, again, you bring up a valid point. However, I doubt if the consumer wants to see results in the future. The consumer wants to see the now. The consumer wants to see the immediate. The consumer wants to see the 2 to 3 cents, the 3 to 5 cents. The consumer wants to look at their receipts and see that they are spending their money in a well-profitable place. The consumer wants to see that their money goes to something that benefits them. The consumer wants to see not the then, but the now. The consumer wants to see what we have to offer. Therefore, I believe that it is unnecessary and that the cost is just downright ridiculous.
Last question goes to EarthSafe. Are irradiated foods nutritious?
Why, yes, irradiated foods are nutritious because the nutritional value does not change.
I guess you failed to see irradiation can also change the flavor, odor, texture, color, and nutritional content of food. For example, yolks of irradiated eggs are more watery and have less color and brightness than non-irradiated eggs. Irradiation also destroys the non-acid and vitamins in eggs, including up to 24% of vitamin A, at just 1/3 the radiation level approved by the FDA.
Well, excuse me, Miss Cunning. I would like to know.
Miss Jackson.
Well, Miss Jackson, I would like to know where you get your information from. Because from our studies at EarthSafe, it shows that there are minimal changes in irradiation, so minimal that you would not even be able to figure out if the food was irradiated or not.
Well, for all known purposes, our information comes from FDA. And while you're so concerned where Greenpeace gets its information, how about you ask the consumer how it tastes? You do tests, but I want you to test the public. I want you to know how they feel about irradiated food. I want you to know how they feel about watery yolks. I want you to ask how they feel about their food not being as satisfactory as unirradiated food.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that you're so passionate about this because you're getting so upset. But the question was referred to Miss Jackson over there, not you. And we do ask the audience how they feel about our irradiated foods, and lots of them do agree consuming farmers as an important issue. But nobody, certain people like you, wants to give us money to do these tests.
While seemingly directing your question towards Ms. Jackson, you in all actuality directed your question towards Greenpeace International. Therefore, Greenpeace International does not offer money towards companies such as yours because we do not agree with what you are doing and the experimentations that irradiated foods gives the nation. Thank you.
Well, I'm so sorry that you feel so passionate about the situation, but does it cause you to get so overexcited and ghetto about the situation that you can't even seeing the real points of this communication, which is about food safety, not about Greenpeace, whatever, international?
In all actuality, I do feel very passionate about this because at Greenpeace International, we care about our consumers. Therefore, don't be sorry, be careful. Just don't do it.
When did you get sorry out of my conversation? When did I spit the word sorry out of my mouth? And I don't care what organization you're from. Every person cares about the consumer. And that's how we make money. The consumer has to buy our goods, not you. Because you're clearly not our consumer or the type of people who we market for our products.
Excuse me, you used sorry several times during your first rebuttal, and again, caring about the consumers, caring about their pockets, not getting their money just because you need their money. Thank you.
This concludes our debate for this evening. Thank you.